Hey, Soda here. I recorded my progress on another piece, and for this one I decided to talk about some art programs I use and would recommend for y'all, especially now that Clip Studio Paint is apparently moving to the dreaded subscription model, like some certain other art programs. And this just so happened to happen when I was actually considering getting CSP for myself. Ironically enough, I'm only a little salty about that one, yeah. But anyway, my first art program recommendation, and one that's been actually featured in this video so far, is Paint Tool Sai, specifically Paint Tool Sai 2, I suppose, but also the original. I've used them for years at this point. It's a one-time purchase for the license that also grants you access to Sai 2, not just the original Paint Tool Sai, and it works like a dream when it comes to digital drawing, honestly. This thing is very customizable when it comes to the UI and keyboard shortcuts. It's super lightweight, and I've been running it on all kinds of crappy laptops in the past. Also, Sai 2 introduced perspective grids and rulers to the toolset, and those are just lovely to use. I've never enjoyed drawing backgrounds more than I do now, honestly. It does take a little bit to figure them out, but once you do, you got a beautiful grid that makes your lines nice and straight. It's great. The downsides are that there aren't a ton of like filter options. I'm talking about like motion blur and noise filters and more specific color adjustments. This Sai 2 only has Gaussian blur and some color adjustment options, and you know, those kind of work, but it's a very limited pool. At least there's the text editor tool now, which the original Paint Tool Sai did not have. You'll have to use other programs alongside Sai if you're doing a lot of like image manipulation and editing, but if you're looking for just a drawing program, just Sai is about as best as you can get. One of the better ones anyway, at least the ones for, you know, a single one-time purchase. I don't know many others actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, as for image editing, my long-term pal in that field has been GIMP 2, and chances are that you already know of it, because it's been around for a very long time, it does its job, and it's free. You know, it's got a ton of filters, it's got more tools than Paint Tool Sai, more detailed color adjustment options, and a lot of other features that are probably familiar to you if you've ever used like Photoshop at any point. It doesn't do everything Photoshop does, especially the more specialized stuff. And, you know, switching between CMYK and RGB, it doesn't have CMYK options as far as I know. And also, pen pressure is something that I did not know how to actually figure out for GIMP until just before recording this. I actually went out of my way to see if it was possible, and lo and behold it is. It just requires a lot of fiddling about, and takes some troubleshooting. But it does have it, I suppose. It's not as good as I would say Paint Tool Sai is, and I also don't know if there are any pen stabilizer options because I haven't explored that, but you know, it's there if you look for it. But you know, for a free program, it's decent, it's easy to figure out. If you're doing pixel art, it's gonna be lovely for that, and you know, coloring like scans of traditional art, I've done that with GIMP also, and it works for that as well. And yeah, if you can figure out the pen pressure, I suppose it makes for a decent program on its own too, for drawing. And the last big boy on this list is Krita, which is just, it does pretty much what GIMP does, not all of it. It's also free, and it's more suitable for drawing than GIMP ever could imagine being. Krita's got like a good number of filters. It's got a ton of default brushes that do a lot of cool things. It's great for painting. I've tried it, though I'm not very good at digital painting specifically, so you know. But the main draw for Krita in Krita for me is the animation workspace. You can animate in Krita, and it's worked for me really well. You do have to kind of figure it out. You have to download some plugin stuff for it, but basically if you just search on YouTube, you know, animating in Krita or how to export animation from Krita, you will find what you need, and good instructions for that too. The UI is a little complicated at first, at least that was for me. And Krita is also not super lightweight, not the most lightweight program in the world. It didn't run too well on my old laptops, so you know, but that was pretty crappy also. Take it for what you will. But yeah, I would say that the pros just outweigh the cons. Also, the brush editor in Krita is very extensive. It does a lot of... you can get really specific with it if you want to. And lastly, I'll give an honorable mention to Blender, surprisingly enough. It's not exactly an art program, but it does have vector tools and it allows you to create 2D animations while also utilizing 3D elements and 3D tools. And also Blender is free. The drawing tools were not my cup of tea personally, never could get the hang of them really, but people have done some genuinely cool stuff with Blender's 2D options. Like, there are some animations that have been done in Blender that just look fucking great, straight up. And hey, even if the 2D stuff doesn't work out for you, you'll still have like a nice fucking solid 3D program to learn 3D with, or a video editor if you wanna mess around with that. Though you will definitely need some more tutorials for that, even if you have previous video editing experience in other programs. But yeah, thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess here's to me recording more of these in the future. Have a nice day.